pennies in a piggy bank to start the episode.
Hooray.
Or something like that.
So, welcome back to another podcast with, I guess first we were discussing Super Metroid Airy, and...
You missed the cube, man.
Yes, you're cute. And with us we have...
Well, I'm Person 701 as usual.
I am one who needs no introduction.
Right.
And I'm not important.
Apparently I'm the only important one here. Feels good.
So, anyway, Super Metroid Airy.
Person, MST, quote, there you go.
Okay, so Super Metroid Airy. It's released, I guess, a little over a month ago, but we just found out about it recently. We've each played through it, beat it, and we're going to... Oh, I guess right away this is filled with spoilers about absolutely everything we can spoil, so don't listen if you don't want anything spoiled.
I was gonna check when it came out, but
like...
the forums are down, so... Well, they're not down, I got too much data.
Actually, let me check. Let me check inside.
I would check, but Skype is a resource whore.
Yeah, due to high stress on the server.
Oh, no, they're unavailable anyway.
Oh, well.
Yeah, due to high stress on the server, the forum is temporarily unavailable.
So the first patch was released August 17th. Or
there we go.
Not August 17th, 17th. July 17th.
Either way, that's when Airy was originally released, and seen, what, 2 other releases since then?
Yes. The latest release is supposed to have fixed a serious bug that some people experienced and others didn't for some reason, so hopefully it's fixed with the latest patch. But I don't think any of us really had an issue with that.
I have played this hack on 3 different platforms, never had an issue, so...
I mean, it was still completable, so it's no big deal, really, in my opinion. Just people finding reasons to get upset, I guess. I don't know. If it really bothers you that much, just don't play Fear. That's all I can say.
They won't get a chance for another 19 years, however. So, what are everybody's thoughts on the hack, I guess?
Well, I'm one for... I like bigger hacks. They got that little bit of challenge to them. I mean, Airy didn't have that much of a challenge, depending on how you collected the items, which I guess we'll talk about a little later. Other than that, I liked it. It was different. That's probably why I liked it, because it's so airy. You don't have many hacks that are so floaty. I guess Angry Fire Chozo was about the closest you can get.
Only other one I could think of anything like that.
Other than that, I just thought it was a fun playthrough. Good hack, in my opinion.
What about you, Quote?
Well, overall, it wasn't that good of a hack. It was fresh, definitely. I definitely enjoyed the palettes and the use of FX. Because if you take the FX off in like Brinstar, the palette looks horrible, but the effects make it look really creepy and dark, and that was good. The atmosphere was often really good. There was too much underwater stuff, but
well, I actually experienced a whole lot of suitless underwater stuff.
So it was just kind of okay. It was nice to MST go.
The hack was interesting. There was some very good things, I thought, and some parts that dragged it down a little too much, but it was still different, and it was more exploration based, which I liked. It wasn't... I wish there was some challenge to it. There was... From the way I played it, there was literally no challenge. The only thing...
That's a good topic to talk about, actually.
The only thing that really challenged me was I went to Ridley way early, and underpowered, and I was underpowered because I completely missed an item I should have got. I literally just whiffed on an item. I was right next to a door and didn't go in it. So that made Ridley super tough, and yeah. Otherwise, there was no challenge whatsoever to anything. And even Ridley became weak once I went through some other stuff. So I wish there was more challenge to it, but overall it was a good exploration hack, I would say.
I think that's a good way to segue into one of the topics that I wanted to talk about, at least, which is the challenge, because it's different depending on the route you take, which is interesting considering it's so open.
Yeah,
but
I think all 3 of us did something different, so this should be...
Oh yeah, but basically, the way I see it, it's going to be either moderate difficulty throughout the whole thing, or it's going to be very difficult near the start, and then incredibly easy for the entire hack, which is how it went for me.
I think everyone will experience the incredibly easy after a certain point.
Yeah, I mean, the item order was really interesting because it's not so much there was an item order, it's just like, okay, you found this group of items, now go find the next group of items. 'Cause you literally are grouped together. Power bombs, gravity suit, and then wave beam, plasma, space jump,
Yeah, and Screw Attack.
And Screw Attack. And there was one more set I can't remember, I think. Actually, no, I think that's...
That may have been it for things that were clumped together.
Yeah, I think that is.
But yeah, the challenge was, like I said, the route I did, if I just didn't go to Ridley, there was nothing in my way, literally.
You should probably say what your route was.
Not really, because it was stupid.
Basically, the moment MST found Speed Booster, he decided to go to Lower Lonely, which I like to call Depressed, and discovered Ridley.
Yeah, basically, I got to Ridley with Varia, Charge, Phaser, I think 15 supers, and like 50 missiles. That was my group, and I think I'd 7 energy tanks, something around 7 energy tanks.
Well, I did that too, except that, see, my route, I went to the bubble area, whatever, to that like extremely early, and I don't think it was intended the way I did it, but when I got there, that part was really difficult because all of the enemies kill you in like one hit if you're only in pursuit, and I only had like an energy tank when I was there, and I had to fight Dragon with very, very little anything, which was stupendously difficult because the physics made everything a huge pain because
So are you saying
could kill me in a couple of hits.
So are you saying that going into Aria with only Variasuit was a problem for you?
No, I didn't have Variasuit. I only had
okay, that
powers.
explains a lot.
I was gonna say, because
when
I
I
think
got to Dragon, I had energy tanks, summits, and like literally 5 supers, and that was it, which made the whole first part super difficult. But then since I was in Aria, I got everything right then, which made the rest of the hack insanely easy because I suddenly had Plasma Beam, Wave, Space Jump, Screw Attack. Like the only thing I was missing was a suit, and then I was invincible for the rest of the hack, which made everything ridiculous.
I think personally I had a much easier time with Dragon.
Oh my.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I was laughing when I killed her. It was stupid.
Yeah, it doesn't
I
happen.
basically came in with like 20 supers and like 100 missiles. Like the moment she came down, I just blasted supers and she died on the first swoop or something like that. I don't know.
Dragon was...
Like, the thing is, like, she doesn't have that much health, but she still does the same amount of damage, and if you have Power Suit and only a bit of health, then you die in 1 to 2 hits. And since I didn't have enough ammunition to kill it in 1 or 2 swoops, I ended up having to dodge her a lot. The turrets could kill me in 2 hits. So that was a difficult fight.
I think otherwise, like after that part, because then after that you get Wave, Plasma, Screw Attacks based on back there.
Yeah.
After
that
that...
difficult, weirdly, because everything still killed me in 2 hits if it got hit. Like, I could destroy it in half a second, but if it hit me, I was dead. So, fun stuff.
Yeah, but after that part, like, things just were... If you had a challenge up to that point...
It was done.
Yeah. I mean, really, there was no enemies. It's like, why are you here?
Yeah, the problem... It just didn't feel very balanced throughout the hack in general.
And
I think that's probably what made it fun. It's the fact that the balance could be so dramatically different depending on how you played the hack.
It could be on one end, and then it would swing all the way to the other after you go through the bubble land.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is there was so much of the hack left if you, like, aside from bubble land, so it wasn't kind of like you go through half of it difficult and half easy. It was more like as soon as you reach bubbles, the rest of the hack is nothing, which is not good for balance.
Okay, and that actually kind of brings up something I wanted to talk about, was the item order, item progression, which was different depending on your route. Obviously, it's pretty open, but that was weird.
Very weird.
And I have to say, it was strange, because normally in a hack you expect, okay, here's Crocomire, I'm going to get an item after him. Here's Kraid, I'm going to get an item after him. Okay, so those did happen. Like with Dragon, there's no immediate reward for defeating him. I mean, obviously there's a bunch of stuff after him, but normally you're used to...
More of a roadblock.
Yeah, I mean, bosses are just... Basically, the 4 bosses are there for the statue room, and... because Ridley doesn't guard anything. Because, like in hacks, you expect, you know, you need a super missile to advance. Here's a boss you have to fight to get it. You need power bombs now. Here's a boss you have to fight to get it. And that was not the case in this hack. You just find the item you need randomly.
No, speaking of Quagmire, I fought him last. He was, in fact, probably the second last boss I fought, which is weird.
That is indeed very interesting.
It was weird because, like, evidently you take 2 steps to an area and he's there, but I didn't find him because I had everything, so I went and fought Ridley right after Speed Booster, and then I went to, like, Phantoon, and then eventually I walk around like, oh, hey, Quagmire. Interesting. But then I had, like, Plasma at that point, so he was just kind of there for a second.
So talking about bosses, I mean, I might be jumping the gun a little bit here, but I'm pretty sure everybody enjoyed the surprise big Metroid attacks.
Yeah.
But at the end, like, again, I might be jumping the gun here, but at the end, I was kind of disappointed you didn't fight it as a final boss. Anybody else feel that way?
I don't know, I kind of forgot about the Metroid after a while, because you only see him a couple of times, and then it doesn't really have any impact on the hack. It's just kind of there.
Well,
and
for me, it was when he showed up the first time. I was like, oh, because like you know it won't kill you unless you do like some stuff to it. Yeah. So usually it still gives you that startle factor. Like it makes you jump, like, oh crap, what the? And then you're like, okay, sure, one-time thing. You continue on, and it happens again, and you're like, what is this? So, like in the back of my head, I was like, okay, when's it gonna come up again? Because fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So I'm like, okay. Where's the third encounter, fourth encounter maybe, and then beat the hack, and I was like, he didn't show up again, he's literally there to just scare you.
I didn't really get that. I was just kind of, I don't know, after the first one you kind of expect that's it, there's no other. Yeah. So it shows up the second time, I was like, oh goodness, there's a surprise. And after that, I guess I didn't really expect that, so I didn't really feel that way. But the big Metroid was still one of the highlights of the hack.
Oh yeah. So if no one else is going to say something, I guess I will go on to the next part of my list here. Well, actually, it's kind of still relating to the challenge thing of the beams, which were weird. Especially the order you got them, because
oh my god,
you get Spacer pretty early, and then you have that for a long time, then you get Wave and Plasma right next to each other, which just felt stupid, because as soon as I got Wave, I was like, oh, this is going to be a great beam, I'm going to love this, and then I got Plasma, and I'm like, well, damn.
Fucking rapid fire beams is amazing.
If you're going to make it easier hack, rapid fire beams are definitely the way to go.
It's so fun.
They're fun for like
it fit this hack well, but like Quote said, the placement was weird.
Yeah.
The placement could have been a little better.
I think if you're going to make a really fast beam, you should do it redesign or Super Zero Mission style, where like one of them is super fast and then the others are not the same speed, because in this every single beam is the same speed. But in Super Zero Mission you had like Spacer was really fast but also kind of slow. The different beams were actually different effects on it, whereas in this it was just kind of like you get a new beam and you already know it's going to be like ridiculously fast and not going to really change anything. You can still kill everything.
I was afraid ice was going to dramatically slow my firing rate when I got it, and that was wrong. It didn't affect anything.
I was hoping he was actually going to do something about that, but nope, ice is the same speed.
I think the whole hack was meant to be fun. I played it, it was fun. I thought the machine gun beams were fun, so, you know, it's just a fun hack in general, in my opinion.
It is.
I guess.
It was still enjoyable. It was just a little strange.
Again, I would say it was quite different. It really was.
So, I'm surprised we haven't talked about this since it's like literally the name of the hack, but the physics are...
The physics were airy.
To me, they get old after a couple of minutes, because I found jumping and falling just took so long in times when you didn't want it to take so long.
I have 2 comments on that. One was high jump even necessary to like put in the hack? And second is that I think that it could have used the spin jump restart, because just a few occasions where like you fall too slow and it'd be nice to restart my spin jump so that I could wall jump off of something.
Yeah. Overall, I didn't mind the physics at all. I'm like, well, whatever. I'm kind of enjoying the floatiness.
There are certainly times when the physics came in handy, where you could jump to a ledge that was very useful to be able to
jump to the moon with high jump.
Samus could bomb herself off the planet a lot quicker than she can in vanilla. I can say that.
Yeah, she would escape the planet faster just jumping instead of going in the ship. I mean, once it got high jump, it was like, whoa, this is what? Why?
Well, she sure as hell could do that with space jump, because the physics in space jump were stupid. Yeah, they were terrible.
Space jump should have just not been in the hack.
Yeah,
Pretty
they were
much.
kind of slow. I mean, and I think it has something to do with like the vanilla space jump waiting for you to descend, like for a certain percentage of
Yeah.
your jump.
Yeah.
And
The thing
then
is,
since it's up in the hack, it's like you have to wait even longer to use it. It's really, really awkward.
They're really, I mean, most hacks don't require Muckball or anything like that. This required Speedball for the reserve tanks.
I think that's a good idea because he kind of unified it where all of the reserve tanks required it, which was better than if only like certain like random items required it. That
Yeah.
would have just been annoying.
The issue I had with it was these were not easy Speedballs. I found 3 reserve tanks. I only collected 2. I didn't go back for 1. The 2 I got
Reserve tank was
required
like
some very severe finagling of my fingers.
I think I only bothered picking up 2 of them.
And the one I skipped was probably the easiest one.
I will do crazy tricks for missile tanks, but when I see this reserve tank, I don't care enough to get it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice, that, I guess, that, hey, you need
It's
to
good
do
to
an
have.
advanced trick for 100%. There's your challenge for
Yeah.
this hack. That is literally the most challenging thing with this hack, in the reserve tanks.
Okay, so with regard to items though, as we're just talking about that,
More
I
items.
found
Excuse me.
I found the way he did items was kind of really bad because this is kind of also part of a different thing, which is about his rooms in general, where they're huge and open, but there's nothing to do in them.
Right,
But
that's
the
not
thing
much.
is, his items are all hidden like the same way. I found that really annoying when there were giant rooms, and after a while, when I shot a wall and found a missile tank, then shot another wall and found a missile tank, I just stopped bothering to get the missile tanks. So I was like, you know what? I know what it's gonna be. I don't care. I'm just gonna walk out.
And this is how you have problems with Dragon people.
Yep.
No, but there weren't even enough items by that point in the game. The way I went.
Differ.
Depends on your route.
Like, what I'm talking about is when I had all of the major power-ups and I was running around through rooms and it was just all the same thing, and I just found that really boring.
I found this strange that most of the major items were done the same way, not behind a boss or something special. That was one of the things I enjoyed about the hack more, was go around looking for items. There were some dead-end big rooms that I was confused about. Overall, it didn't bug me too much. There was one, okay, I take it back, 2 rooms in particular that really annoyed me, but I'll get into those later.
You know what item really sucked in this hack, though? Grapple. There was no point in it unless you wanted to get.
There was a point.
By the time
There was a very big point.
Oh, I was gonna get to that, but by the time I got to X-ray, I already had space jump, so there was 0 point in using grapple. But then the only time you use grapple is to get to the end, and that is hidden away. That was just ridiculous.
See, I don't think it was the fact that it was really well hidden. It's the fact that, because like I came across this issue, I spent at least an hour and a half to 2 hours trying to figure out how to finish the hack after I got grapple. And it's more the fact that you come to the place where Space Jump and the Wave Beam and Plasma Beam are at, and you will either be like, oh hey, items, yeah, I'm collecting items, and you're just running through. You either won't notice the hint, or you will notice the hint. And even if you, like, either way, it's the fact that once you have grapple, you have to go all the way across to the other side of the planet just to use it the one time.
That was my biggest issue with the entire hack.
Oh, really?
That was the most annoying part, because I knew where I had these. I was talking to a person at the time on IRC when I was headed to get grapple, or headed to what I thought was the in-game area, which turns out to be just for grapple.
Yep.
I knew where to use grapple though, but I still had to go all the way back around through the planet. That was the most annoying part about the hack.
Yeah, I have
For
a more
me.
extreme version of that because I already knew that I needed grapple. I already knew where to go to the end, and I already knew like a lot about the hack, and it felt so boring going all the way back and forth throughout the entire planet because I knew where I was going to be going, and it just felt so redundant to go through these rooms slowly and have to go across the entire planet just to get grapple and then to go all the way back. It just felt really annoying. Grapple's place itself was stupid.
Yeah, speaking of grapple, why don't we talk about that a little bit?
That area?
It's annoying.
Yeah, I mean, just the whole, I guess everything surrounding grapple. What in the world was he thinking?
Oh my, it was certainly interesting.
That was probably the most interesting use of a terrain I've come across.
I can agree with that.
The statue room guards terrain, as always.
Called Decay.
Yes, Decay.
It's a cool name.
Grapple Beam is
Name.
hiding there, and yeah, that's all that's there, except for a very interesting visual image.
Well, you walk into Decay thinking, oh yeah, this is the final area, and you come across Batoon, and you're like, so this is the final boss. And you kill Batoon, and he doesn't advance anything, a timer doesn't go off or anything, so you're like, okay, so continue on through, you pick up Grapple Beam, and then you walk through that room, and suddenly Mother Brain's dying in her tank. And you just kind of like...
It's like, what?
What?
I think Grapple was fueling her and grabbing it sort of removed her life support. I don't know.
It's like you pulled the plug on Mother
It was
Brain.
already dead.
You pulled the plug on Mother Brain, and Batoon destroyed like her feeding tube or something.
Yeah, that. I mean, it's. I mean, you
Mother
can't.
Brain's a vegetable. There you
can't.
go.
You can't fight her. She's just a graphic in the room, and one of her dying poses or whatever, just the brain part, and it's like, what in the world? And then you exit out that room and spit you back out in Planetia, whatever the starting place is.
Yeah, well, with Decay, I went there knowing that it wasn't the final area. In fact, I had totally forgotten that it was an area, so I was just trying to go around finding Grapple, like I killed Fantoon, then I was just trying to find Grapple, and suddenly I'm in Turian, I'm like, wait a sec. Okay. But when I found Botwound, I was really annoyed because right after there's like no immediate thing that happens. You have to go back and find a great door somewhere that'll lead you to Mother Brain's tank, but you don't get anything from Botwound immediately. I found that really weird.
Well, that
and
seemed to
annoying.
fit with a lot of the bosses in the hack.
Yeah.
And when I
that
was
the
exploring,
problem.
I found the gray door in the first place, so
Same.
I just like, oh,
Oh, see, I didn't see the
Botwound
gray
opened
door.
that door.
You didn't explore
I didn't
right
see the
at
gray
zero,
door, so I was expecting him to actually do something.
I entered, actually, when I first entered Decay, I was like, Metroids? Okay, sure, whatever. So I shot him, and I'm like, okay, my beam's not doing anything. So I laid a power bomb,
That
I'm
was
like,
a huge
this
pain.
is a problem. And I shot
Problem
Super,
with
and I'm like, okay.
Problem with the Metroids is they didn't give you super missiles like Metroids do. You use up your super missiles and you don't get them back as you kill the Metroids, so you just
But
end
if
up
you
with
explore,
Yeah.
you won't have that issue.
I had plenty of supers.
I had like 35 by the time I went in there.
There was no threat of
No, I
running
had
out.
I had enough. I was just annoyed because you don't get any back, so you end up using up a lot of supers in them.
Oh, nitpicking, okay. I get it.
Pretty much.
I'll admit, I did cheapo Botwoon though. I had the full plasma beam combo plus X-ray, so
Yeah.
See,
Oh, really? You did that?
I did that, yes.
I wish I thought of that. I did not do
It's
that.
2 seconds to kill him.
Yeah, I was, but still, I like using the X-ray thing. Like,
I actually started with supers and then realized, wait, I have plasma and wave. What am I doing? Okay, let's see. So I
So,
still have
How
2
about
things.
them big
to say.
rooms with no content and wasted space?
Yep, that's what I was talking about before. I
Yeah.
listed that as spacey. They were just really annoying like that.
there were only 2 like groups of rooms that really annoyed me. Both were in Lonely.
Oh, really?
Yes.
See, mine were in
Mine were-
Nadrin, I think, is the Brimstar area,
Sorry,
Craze
Nadrin.
area.
That part I didn't mind them so
Yeah.
much, actually. My issue was with Lonely, there was a part where there was like a big room with another room on top, a hallway. The hallway, you could just take over the big room and continue on. I went to explore the big room, there's like nothing there, all it is the big room fills up with lava.
Ah,
That was so annoying. I
Yeah.
hated that.
Now that one I was very disappointed, there was absolutely nothing to explore in that. The other thing was, why are there 2 save stations stacked on top of each other?
Oh my god.
That was the single most annoying thing ever.
Yeah, I spent a while
In any
trying to
hack,
figure out what that was.
in any game, that, and there's literally, you get to both of them from the same room. One door is right on top of the other. What in the world? They're both stupid save stations.
And neither of them have anything hidden in them.
No, they're just, oof. I wanted to rip the game out.
What's worse, 2 save stations next to each other or rooms that go in circles in SD?
The save stations.
Yeah, save
That was-
stations worse.
That was super annoying. For some reason, that just really irritated me. That like set off all my nerves that had the capability of being set off. So those are my 2 issues.
I thought Nadrin was a lot more full of huge rooms that didn't really feel satisfying to go through.
Yeah.
Especially though, since they were really difficult to move around through because of the effects, which I was going to talk about anyway. Like, they're cool, but they're also really annoying to try and go through. Actually just, like, turned the FX off for pretty much all Brimstar after a while, because I was like, you know what, it's just getting to be too annoying to go through there, so...
So what about you, person? What did you think about the rooms?
The rooms, well, my main gripe was the one with in Mandarin or whatever it's called that had the 2 missiles in it, I was okay with that. Like, it had missiles in it, but it was still really, really open with no content except for a few pirates and connecting some rooms. The other one was, oh, this one is so bad. It's the respawning pipe room that leads to a recharge and like the room with the side hoppers. That is just, you could have made that a lot smaller, because really I'm going to climb to the top and find just a refill station, nothing else up there. There's absolutely nothing at the bottom, and then just go straight across and there's a gate that, you know, that
Waving gate with super missile door behind it.
I
That's
gate
what I
glitched
was
that
going
one,
to
by
talk
the way.
about, because he did that a lot, where there was just, you go through a whole bunch of stuff and then all you get is a refill station. I lost health going to a refill station. Like, thanks,
Well,
buddy.
to be
It's
fair, the original did that in a few locations, the vanilla as Super
It
Metroid.
did like twice, ever, but this
It-
game did it so many times. Like an area or whatever, I was just, I was trying to find stuff I needed because everything killed me, and I kept just like hitting refill stations. I was like, great, health, thanks, because that'll help the whole I die in one hit. Great.
I wish he'd turned most of those energy refills into actual item rooms.
Or a save station. I would have at least taken that over a freaking refill station.
I mean,
Or
the,
missiles.
the only thing I can come up with, maybe, is he ended up wanting to place items everywhere, so he had 100% elsewhere, so he just made it. He had this room here, and he decided, oh, I'll just keep it, it's all set up, I'll just make an energy refill. That's
Yeah,
the thing
I have-
come up with. Why would, like, especially in the Brinstar area, I think was especially toxic with these things. Because there's like 3 all connected within 3 rooms of each other or something like that. It's like, why?
Yep.
Who would do this in their right mind?
I think the area names were really cool. I know it was weird, but I like Lonely as the name of the sort of blue, eerie feeling area. Though it has some problems because it doesn't really make you feel that isolated or cold or anything. It felt just kind of boring a lot of time, but I like the effort, kind of. I like the idea. It just didn't really pan out very well.
I like the fact that he changed them. That's the names
Just the
themselves.
fact that something was changed makes MSD
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, I thought you would have been really happy here because, you know, there's like a huge amount of just random items everywhere.
Well, that's one of the reasons
And
why I
an
like the hack.
area for bubbles.
Was
so,
I
like,
found it fun to
why
look
I
through.
have
And bubbles, those were good too. And then they were not Golden Dawn bubbles. They were a good palette. Could have been better, but they were still good palette.
they felt very vanilla like.
Kind of. They kept the green, added blue instead of red.
Something that person had said in his stream actually is the problem with the bubble area is that every single tile looks like it's hiding an item.
Well, that's just
Because
bubbles
you-
in general. That's my opinion on bubbles. Like, if you
Every
use nothing
single
but
tile there
bubbles,
looked like it would be an item.
if you use nothing but bubbles, they all look so similar that anything and everything could possibly be something. And it's just terrible because
fact-
when you play hacks, especially if you've played a lot, you already know that a lot of things can look like a hint. So when you get the bubbles,
Oh, yeah.
it's just like literally everything is a hint. And it drives you mad unless you have X-ray scope or power bombs or something.
Or if you're me.
Yeah, and speaking of power bombs, that was super annoying because the first power bomb I got was hidden in a room that they were hidden the same way as every missile tank in area, which meant that I didn't find it for so long because every single bubble looked like a hint and I was going to go bomb or shoot every single bubble. So I eventually noticed, oh hey, that shows an item on the map. Well, I have all these items, I might as well go grab another missile tank. And then, oh hey, power bombs. Yay. That was a great spot to hide them.
You make it sound like it's such a hassle collecting items.
Well, when the power bombs, like a major item, was hidden just like every other missile tank, that really bothered me.
Well, so were supers. Basically, all the beam upgrades were. Everything was hidden the same way, except for grapple beam, really. And spring ball.
Super was hidden very strangely because the tile was not easily, like it wasn't easy to find. It was kind of right at the entrance to the hole, so I don't know, it was weird.
I know some people had issues with that. I didn't mind that room so much because it's a secret room. You're in here. There's a dot on the map. You know there's something in there. It's only one square. You're going.
There's
to
a
find it very
reason you're
quickly.
in there.
Yeah, it's one square. You're going to find
Yeah,
it really
we
fast.
end up bombing everywhere anyway, but still.
I mean that. I don't know. That wasn't an issue to me. It's still a little strange that the super was hidden there instead of here have it in the statue, but it still doesn't bother me.
If a missile tank was hidden there, and the supers were on the Chozo, that would have been perfect.
It would have added more items, which would have been better. The transparency effect in Lonely.
Good use.
I wanted to mention that because that was a really good use of transparency. I just wanted to mention that.
It was. The last item here, see what I did there, on my list, is the ending, which we should definitely talk about because it was super, super disappointing and weird and weird and weird and
Here, it's time for the escape sequence. Run from acid. Okay, sure.
Well, even before that, the whole last area is full of Metroids now. All of a sudden, you used your grapple the one time you need to. Now there's Metroids, and yeah, there's a whole bunch more items in this last area without a boss than there was in terrain where there was a boss. There was only grapple in there. It's like,
yeah,
that's okay.
I just thought it was really out of place because the whole atmosphere of the area was supposed to be like this sort of space station kind of creepy Metroid infested place, which would have been fine had it really been incorporated at all into the hack instead of being like super out of the way bubble area entrance grapple requiring random bunch of rooms.
It could be viewed as a
weird and not really useful in terms of the whole hack.
You could view it as kind of like a really well hidden secret base, I guess. Really underground, no one's supposed to know about it.
An actual smart space pirate attempt at hiding the base.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a...
Because they never do it anyway.
Except they killed off their own other brain doing it.
I think the best way to have like I think that area would have been great as a bonus area, but it felt weird as the actual ending area. I thought it was just kind of strange.
Yeah, it was different. I don't really.
And the boss-ish thing felt very forced. Felt like it was like the whole, even the tiling. It just felt like he put it there just to have the area make sense for a minute, and I thought that was really annoying. Because it was so obvious.
Because it made sense?
No, it was just so obvious that he was doing that it bothered me, because it was like this area, you made it just to make it, and now you're putting this here to try and connect it, and it just feels stupid. Like, you might as well have not done that at all.
I don't know, I didn't mind it, because it lets you know afterward, you know, it's, oh, well, time to escape. They kind of let you know, hey, there you go, go finish it. That was
if you put the giant right there, that would have been great, but it didn't connect in the hack, so it felt forced.
I'm going to assume you got shot by the bang, didn't you?
Nope.
Oh, really? That one actually caught me by surprise.
I got myself shot by it. I was like, oh, wait. I shot it till I had one shot left. I was like, wait, this is a bang, isn't it? I shot it again. Like an idiot.
I did too.
It's like, wait, is this really a...
I saw how the enemy... Well, that's going to end up shooting me, so I shot it a bunch of times, ducked, and it missed.
Well, it was more the fact that MST and I were running through the room, holding our fire button down, so as we're running, our shots are hitting it, and then we just stop in front of it, we're like, is that a bang? Let's shoot it, see what happens. We shoot it once, and then it shoots back at us with a full-blown shot, and it's like, oh, well, it goes in health.
Yep.
Wow. Well, I didn't know that it was the room with the bang. I just, when I got there, I was like...
Well, when you have rapid fire, you shoot everywhere.
Exactly.
It helps you find items. I guess to an extent, that last area kind of felt almost completely separate from the rest of the hack.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It felt very disconnected. It just didn't feel like it was really meant to be there.
I was too happy about actually finally making progress after 2 hours to even care. I was just like, yes, finally, I'm here. Finish this damn hack.
Area also felt much the same everywhere in it. Like, every item there felt very similar. It was just all kind of, you walk into a room, there's a bunch of Metroids, and there's maybe a missile tank. You walk into the next room, it's a bunch of Metroids.
Oh, there was that one room in there with that you had to do that thing.
Oh, the Metroid?
Yes.
Yeah, that was tricky.
That was probably the best item in the game to get.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it actually required some... It wasn't just speedball, the right height, whatever. It actually required some finding something and then some thought into how do I get it. And then actually doing it.
The other one that had me stumped for a little while was the room before Gravity Suit. There's a missile in a wall hidden by one speed boost block, and there's a Ripper pointing right at it. And you have a diagonal Shine Spark to it, and that stumped me for a little while.
Wait, what?
There's like a missile on the wall right underneath where Gravity Suit is. It's blocked by a speed boost block.
Okay.
And the Ripper's just looking at it like, hey, there's something here. You should look at this. Hey, buddy, look here.
Yeah, I got Gravity Suit way before I had Speed Booster, so I didn't notice that.
So, fun fact about that spot. Powerbomb, Gravity Suit is behind the Powerbomb door right there.
Yeah.
Imagine the room, just up one block and one block to the right. There's a door there, Powerbombs are through that door. Imagine if a certain player collected those Powerbombs and didn't get Gravity Suit for another 2 hours. Even though we saw the Powerbomb door right before it got stupid Powerbombs. I feel so stupid. Those were my first Powerbombs and I missed Gravity Suit.
Oh.
You call yourself a master of collecting items.
Yeah, not in this hack.
Nice.
I only got 82%.
92.
I only got 54%. You guys suck.
We actually.
Then again, I only spent 2 hours on the hack, so.
So I guess, any closing thoughts about the hack? Overall impression, would you recommend it or not?
Definitely recommend it. It's fun. But if you want something with, like, that
Substance.
feels... Yeah, substance, maybe not. But, yeah, fun hack if you want something fun. Again, for, like, the 3rd or 4th time I've said, play it. Floaty physics are different. It's just a different hack in general.
I'd say, in general, I wish he had made it a mini hack or like a half hack because it felt too spread out and there were just too many rooms that didn't really have much of a purpose to be there. So I felt it was too big. Like there are full hacks that need to be full hacks, like Phazon. Really, it felt like a whole new planet. This just felt like bigger rooms, and that didn't really appeal to me very much. It was fun though. It was definitely a fresh take on the whole hack. It was nice to see something new, but if you want a full hack, go check out Super Zero Mission, Phazon, Redesign. Those all have substance and they make you feel like you've actually accomplished something, but this just it was like searching for items, but with ginormous rooms.
I was going to compare it to searching for items, but I found searching for items funner. It's still my favorite hack, but Airy is. I would recommend it, but don't expect a challenge. Don't, I guess, really expect anything super majorly awesome. It's a fun hack. It has some flaws, but I'd still like, especially for any beginner hack player, definitely play it because you're not gonna have any trouble with enemies or any advanced tricks. You don't have to do anything. It's basically just explore, find items.
Only advanced tricks would be the reserve tanks, really.
Yeah, and you don't know, so.
I think in terms of recommending it, it really depends on the player themselves. Like, if you've played all the hacks out there and you want something new, you might as well play it. It'll probably be fun, kind of. It'll at least be a little fun.
It is at least different than most hacks.
If you're new to hacks, like if this is one of your first hacks, then don't play this. It might give you a bad impression of the hacks, of full hacks. I'd say play through the main kind of full hacks, like Ice Metal and Redesign and all them, and then you can play this later, but I think it's not a good one to start with. It might just make you kind of bored.
See, I would actually disagree with that. I think this is a very good one to start with.
It's easy, nothing hard, shows you the potential of what hacks can do.
And it hopefully gets like new hack players started off on the idea of, hey, a lot of hacks hide items in walls.
The original game
look through
had
them.
way too much. I never noticed, but in the original game, there are a bunch of spots where there are no hints. It's just a missile in a wall, like the Mama Turtle room.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I know, but I was so used to thinking like you have to actually have a hint because hacks tend to see no hints as a bad thing. But then you look at the original game, and there are plenty of items that are actually hidden like that.
You also have to consider in hacks, are they giving you X-ray or no? Because if they're not, then it'd be a good idea to give a hint.
And it is different if you're used to, I mean, like I guess a veteran Metroid hack player. It's different than most others. There will be probably some dull spots in it, some irritating save stations, but it's still different, and it's still a pretty fun hack. I guess unless someone has something else to add about it.
I don't got much.
I'd just say it was nice to see a new hack.
Yeah.
You can shake your piggy bank and cube it up for the ending, I guess.
Piggy bank incoming!
Damn it, now I want to solve it. Thanks, buddy.
I'm ended with that.
Be the most